Welcome, everybody, to the That Kind of Nerd podcast. I am CJ Mellon.
I am Brian Thornton.
And I am Josh Burns.
Welcome to our show. So, hello, fellow nerds. Welcome to the show. So, right now, we are recording during San Diego Comic-Con. We're recording on Saturday the 11th. So, we're not going to hit all of Comic-Con, or we're not going to talk about all the days yet, just because we want to have all the
We're
information.
gonna hit most of it.
We're going to
The
hit
best
most
part
of it.
is over.
Really? You think so?
Which
That's
is
what-
I
sad
do.
because it seems like it sucked.
It does feel like it sucked a little bit, honestly. I mean,
Well, then
I think the only thing we are not going to, I haven't seen anything about yet, is Deadpool. Everything else has been hit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, how have we not seen anything about Deadpool? Well, you know what, though? It might have been like a Saturday. Like, it's only
It's
7
literally-
o'clock there.
It's like literally day 2.
yeah, it's only 7 o'clock there. So maybe, like, you know,
It's probably
Deadpool,
going on right
Deadpool
now.
shows up and tells some ill-timed jokes or something.
That, or there's actually been Deadpool in all the other material in Comic-Con, and you have to
Like, he's
you have
just
to
showing
stitch
up
it
in the
together.
background.
Right, you have to stitch it together for the announcements.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I know I showed CJ this, but there's a poster where they took the Hunger Games poster
Yes.
of Katniss in like that red suit sitting on Snow's chair, and they changed it to Deadpool. So it's just Deadpool in like this like really weird kind of corset looking thing.
Is
But
this a Mockingjay Part 2?
yeah,
yes,
the
it's a Mockingjay Part 2 poster,
and then
they
he just like scribbles out the Mockingjay Part 2, and there's like Deadpool written across it. It's fantastic.
it's
You
whoever's in,
crafty son of a bitch breaking the fourth wall like you do.
whoever's in charge of Deadpool's marketing gets Deadpool and has made everything that they put out so far just wonderful, which is
I'm
making me
pretty
so
sure
happy
it's
with this
just
movie.
It's Ryan Reynolds just telling him crazy stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like if you, I don't know if you follow his Twitter.
Oh,
at
it's
all,
the best.
But
It's the
man,
best.
that dude, I'm telling you, that dude has some wacky thoughts.
He then posted a picture of him in the Deadpool costume, wearing a poncho and a sombrero with a sign that says Comic Con por favor.
It's like I have so much confidence in what's going to come out of that movie. I can't even stand it. I can't wait. I'm so mad that the movie's not out right now, so I can just go ahead and watch it a million times on repeat over and over and over and over and over again.
Indeed.
I am
But
really excited.
let's talk about the stuff that did happen at Comic Con so far,
Please, yeah, let's do that.
which is not much.
No,
honestly.
it's not. So let's start with something that we have to get out of the way, and I'll be as quiet as possible for what's going on for the next couple of moments because it's DC time.
All right.
So
Literally, this
Dawn of-
happened like 15 minutes ago.
So
all
no,
this
and
stuff.
I've watched the
You
trailer.
don't have enough time to formulate your own opinion just yet.
Well, for the one I do, the one let's start with this.
He saw the thing. That means he formulated an opinion.
Dawn of Justice released another trailer. This one's a lot longer, and you can
Yeah.
actually make out what's happening and see people and their
It
faces.
gives you more of the plot, which makes
It does.
me happy.
Which, so what do you guys think? What do you think? We'll include the link to the trailer in our show notes. It's on thatkindofnerd.com. But watch it. If you haven't seen it, pause for a second. I know, pause, right? Crazy?
Well, for like 3.5 minutes.
All right, you're right. And go watch it. But I'm sure after a minute and a half, you'll be upset like me. So what did you guys
Why?
feel about the trailer?
Upset with you? Why?
I didn't like it.
Okay. Let's not get your
What?
opinion first. Josh, go ahead.
That's what I was saying. Let's.
It looks friggin' awesome.
It does
looks-
look freaking awesome.
It looks unbelievable. I mean, the whole plot of it, and again, I don't think we have the full story, but it looks unbelievable. The thing that I like that they showed is Wayne Financial crumbled, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
you have Bruce Wayne running into the rubble to save whoever he can, as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
But they're give you a little bit more of the story. It's absolutely it's compelling for one, and you get more of Eisenberg as
Yes.
Lex Luthor. You get a little bit more of the background. I think it looks awesome.
I think you got to see more of this movie, which is what a lot of people were really needing to do, just to get some hype up. Brian, what did you think about it?
So I mean, before this trailer, I was a little on the fence about this movie. This trailer actually got me thoroughly excited. I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far. The few little snippets of Wonder Woman we got to see were really cool.
Gal Gadot,
Yeah,
yeah,
she looks
looked
great.
impressive, yeah.
And I'm just, I'm a little trying to figure out how she fits into the story.
Right.
I'm already watching it like 3 or 4 times, trying to spot little things like I think it's really cool that there's a scene where they have a Robin suit in the Batcave with the Joker spray painted all over it. Joke's on you, which is a nod to Jason Todd dying, which is pretty fantastic. And I'm stoked. I think it's going to be cool. I think I was worried about Eisenberg at first, but seeing him in the role, I think he's going to nail the Lex Luthor part. And I think it's going to be a fun ride. So, yeah, I'm in. I'm ready for it.
Okay, so here comes me. So here's the only thing. I'm excited about Wonder Woman. That looks incredible.
CJ, hang on. Now, you're not allowed to have an opinion until you've actually seen all the Rockies. So have you seen all the Rockies?
Wait, you know what? Can you do me a favor and just get out tear off one of those paper ass gaskets and put it on the seat before you take a dump all over DC?
This hold on. Before you don't even know what I'm going to yell at. You guys are just going right in for it.
No, I'm assuming that you're going to yell about something though.
Of course I am. I mean, if you think I can just go through this,
you're like that
anything.
when it comes to DC movies. You're like that angry old man from like Gran Torino. You're Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. You're just
get off my lawn.
Okay, let me start with what I love. I love exactly what we've talked. Jesse Eisenberg, I'm sold. What a great performance so far, and just what I've seen. I'm so excited for him to be Lex Luthor. Even showing the block of kryptonite and the way that he's looking at it, and his the red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. I loved it. I thought it was so great. I actually got excited about Batfleck. I couldn't believe.
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay, all right, go ahead, go back in a superhero outfit. I'm cool with this. What I'm not liking in this trailer so far is the version of Superman that we're getting, and the advice like he's getting from his mom about he doesn't owe this planet anything, and if he's all or nothing when it comes to it. And, I can understand it, but I just don't. I don't know. Superman holds such a spot for me that seeing him downtrodden like this really bothers me.
That fits the character completely.
That is Superman. He's had this crisis of faith over and over again. Like, should he even bother? Is he doing the right thing? Like, does he do more harm than good?
As a Kryptonian on Earth, you either save them all or kill them all.
But he was Superman for literally 20 minutes. In the movie, he's been Superman. He's been that costume, that person, that character for so little time compared to what happens that now we're putting him in a crisis right away.
Yeah, he's been Kal-El his entire life.
Right. Kal-El, I get.
Struggling with it his entire life.
And the first time he decides to actually try and save the people and save Metropolis, this is what he's getting. It's the perfect point for him to have this crisis.
Because he, I don't know how many people died. What was the body count?
God only knows.
But I know that is that we know this and that the audience, not the audience, that the movie doesn't get it. But like, why is that on him? Like, why is that his fault? Why does he have to be tortured and lamented for it?
Because he didn't take the fight off the planet.
Was that in his control? Could he do that?
It's not even that. People aren't just blaming him for the Metropolis. People are worried about the fact that we don't understand. He's an alien. We don't understand how much power he has. We just saw him and another alien destroy half of Metropolis, and he was supposedly trying to save it. How long can we trust this guy for until he snaps?
And that's the thing, though. But everything that he did in that first movie, he obviously went out of his way so many times to tell anyone that came in contact with him, I'm here to save you. I'm doing what's right. I'm here to do this. He's cooperating. He went in with handcuffs, which he obviously knew were going to do anything to make them feel safe. He's gone through all these steps to do it, and now people are just rejecting him right away. It kind of, it bothers me. But, I mean, that's just from my perspective of loving Superman.
CJ, if you live in, Trexler Town, right?
Right.
So if somebody flew in there, literally flying, right? And then brought a bunch of badasses in his wake that destroyed all of Trexler Town, how would you and Jenny feel?
Oh, listen, I'm saying if I was a member of Metropolis, I'd be pitching, I'd be having
You'd have your pitchfork.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I have this, but I'm not. Looking at this, I don't like the position they put Superman in. I'm just saying that. I feel uncomfortable with.
But it's the perfect
place that they put in there.
It's the perfect position for him to be in.
Superman can't handle it. Like what's your?
No, because he's gotten all dark and broody and emo.
No, he hasn't. He has not. That's the point.
He has that stupid scowl on his face. The
entire him not understanding, right, whether he should acquiesce to the humanity and just leave it alone, or if he should continue trying to save
Right.
humanity.
You don't like the people that are going against Superman. Superman as a character is still the same. And this is the perfect moment that, okay, this is Superman. That even through the people picketing and courts and people blaming him for all this, he's going to rise above it and continue to do what he is meant to do. That's the character.
My question is,
So what you're telling me is that you don't like Superman.
No, I love Superman. Don't you dare.
Your point about Diane Lane, though, understand that while
no, she's just seen her son in immense pain and suffering and wants to give him the out.
He's struggling with it, and she's just trying to absolve him of any concern for her.
Absolutely, saying, you don't owe me anything, and if you were to disappear and you were to leave because of what's happening, I don't think I would hold it against you and no one else would, because you don't owe the planet anything. I get that. Like,
so
I really do.
I don't understand what your struggle is.
So, no, my problem is we've seen this Superman. We've seen this person be Superman for just such a short period of time. To throw him immediately into a conflict like this just doesn't compute up here in my noggin.
It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense.
In my head, it doesn't make sense.
And watching Henry Cavill in that movie, in my brain, I mean, Christopher Reeve, who? I just don't.
Yeah, no, like he's doing I mean, this is the thing. I'm enjoying the acting. I'm enjoying everything else. Cinematography, I don't like the fact that we're washing out all the color, but I'm like,
but that's what it is now. And
that's Zack Snyder's style. That's just.
And I think I need confirmation from Brian, but because I'm not a big Superman comic book guy, but the books that I have read, he really, I mean, he fits the role, man.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's doing a great job.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
not disputing that. I'm disputing the studio's timing of this film and the way that they're going about it. I don't know. I feel like it's too soon.
I think
they're rushing
silly.
into it.
I think you're just trying to find things to shit on about these scenes.
Yes, that's totally after I just praised all the acting and all the directing and all the characters that are coming in, and I have one problem with the way that they put Superman in a precarious position. I'm totally taking a shit on DC. By the way, I had to finish that sentence. Listen. I'm more excited than I was coming into it, but I'm just still I'm not 100% sold yet. I need more to sell me. Sorry, I'm a difficult. Okay. I don't know.
No. Give me like the next trailer or the next featurette to sell you would have to do well. I mean, other than Wonder Woman looking amazing,
right?
It really
give me the perspective of both of these characters. Give me, since you're going to do a Batman versus Superman.
They just did.
Hold on, let me finish. Give me one trailer of the total perspective of nothing but Kal-El's perspective and what he's going into, and give me another perspective of Batman's. Just do those two sides of it with no crossover. Don't
I feel like your Canadian head has been flapping. For
what will do
30
that?
seconds.
The movie. So you should just go see the movie.
No, give me
and stop being a little bitch about it.
Give me a little trailer.
I'm just saying. You're gonna plunk down your $10 or $15 anyway, so stop crying about it like someone just took your lollipop and just enjoy it.
I need to understand the perspective of these characters a little more. I don't feel.
You don't feel like you understand Batman and Superman?
Yeah, seriously.
No, I do. I know. I'm telling you. I just told you I don't understand.
I could find a
Superman's
hobo on the side of the road who knows the perspectives of Batman and Superman.
Explain to me Batman and Superman. And the hobo would say, buy me another bottle and I'll do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would happily buy that bottle. And then enjoy the regaling.
So, Jesus, no, it's turning to Rocky all over.
Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons.
Oh, he's going to be great.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
So
what a great casting for Alfred.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he's going to be fantastic.
Saying, there's so much going for this movie. For me, I just need to get a little sharper perspective on both of these sides. That's all I need.
I've got a ton of back issues and trade paperbacks you can, read to get your perspective.
So sort of, going against the grain of what the story arc held for Batman, they somehow allowed Batman to be older, right? He's as old in this story as he probably should have been in Dark Knight Rises, where Alfred is far younger than he was at this point. So that's the only thing for me that's weird, is just the inconsistency. But I think we've sort of come to get used to that with not only DC but movies in general. I'm not worried about it. I'm thrilled with how the trailer went. I watched it 3 times. It's awesome every time.
And here's the cool thing, and here's what I really took from it. A lot of that trailer is from Batman's perspective. He just doesn't really, he doesn't trust him because of what happened at Wayne Financial. And I think that death of that Robin is going to really weigh on him, that like he couldn't save somebody, and now he's like very suspicious of everything and everyone. And Jeremy Irons as Alfred is very much in defense of Superman. There's that scene in that trailer. He's like, he is not the enemy. He is not who we're supposed to be fighting.
Did you just clear a cat away from your microphone?
I did.
I'm just checking.
I did.
Okay. All right, good.
But remember,
Just,
ladies,
and as a reminder, cat to human ratio, very low.
Right
Very,
now, they're
very low.
outnumbering me. I'm alone in the apartment right now.
I got you.
So
listen,
if you don't get a text from me in like half hour, that means they've killed me.
The cats have risen up.
They hate me.
All right.
all right. So speaking of, let's move on to our second part, which is another DC trailer. That was for the Suicide Squad. So, disclaimer for this: this was a leaked trailer with the probably worst audio I've heard. So this was recorded on a cell phone. The official trailer should probably be coming out soon because of all the press that this one's
It's like
getting.
some guy in the audience that broke his Galaxy S6 and went back to a Samsung Captivate. and he's recording it with the crappiest possible video and audio, the 5 megapixel.
It's.
Awful.
I think it was one of those things where they were just like, no cell phones, no cell phones.
No,
Like,
they're-
Didn't you
and
have
saw
somebody
this-
with a GoPro? Like, just come on, dude.
They're
But
very
the-
much like they don't allow any sort of videography or anything like that.
Right.
And
I think
if they
they just
catch
looked
you
at
with
their
your cell
phone.
phone, you get escorted out like of Comic-Con. You don't just get
Right.
escorted out of that panel.
And
So
that's
this is
why
like a button cam.
Yeah,
There's
like-
some
that's what
guy
I'm
with
thinking.
a-
It's that it's such a low budget thing. They're just like, well, that obviously can't record video. So
Some
get
guy
the
with a
fuck in here.
flower on his lapel.
And he had a good seat. That was the other part. He had a pretty good seat. Anyway, so this gave us a couple glimpses at some characters. We got to see some Will Smithy action on there, and then finally some footage and some audio of Jared Leto's The Joker.
Yep.
And this was so I put this on the TV and I watched it with my wife, and I was like afterwards like, so what do you think? Just knowing absolutely, I mean, she knows a little bit of the Suicide Squad because of Arrow, and I was like, you know, what do you think? And she's like, that movie looks that looks great. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right.
Meh.
So what did you guys? Yeah,
All right. I'm gonna.
I
let
put
me
my
just-
mask shirt on.
Let me just go, and then you guys can assassinate the movie after. But so taking it at face value, awful video quality, awful audio quality.
Right.
Um,
It's a little unfair to judges, but we're gonna do it anyway.
It is, and I can't wait to see the trailer. Like when the actual trailer comes out, I'm turning all the lights off.
Right.
I'm cranking up the home theater, and I'm just gonna watch it. Right, because the thing that stuck out to me, and I hope that you caught it throughout the trailer, is the Joker's sort of maniacal laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that really stuck with me, having seen it. And then obviously you have it sort of the Harley Quinn story, and probably because Margot Robbie is one of the more recognizable actors in the movie. But dude, I'm really excited, especially after seeing the Jared Leto footage, which, by the way, got like a standing ovation from the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd was pretty pumped, and it was same thing when they saw Harley, and she was like hanging upside down like a parakeet. That was pretty. All right, let's go to Brian because Brian's got his mask shirt on, and I want him to talk.
I
Got his mask, shirt, hat, and face on.
no, I mean,
Probably Mag tattooed on his forehead. You know,
oh yeah,
the
no,
Joker
yeah.
way.
I was just not impressed. It wasn't like,
You went out and got a license plate that says meh.
yeah. I mean, I watched it and I was like, okay. Like, I mean, I know Will Smith is good, and I know Margot Robbie is going to be good as Harley Quinn. I mean, that's
Right.
that's no contest. So, but that's all this trailer was, with the exception of the few scenes of Joker you got to see. It was all very Harley Quinn based, very Deadshot based, and
Which is good. I mean, that's
we
what
saw
you
we
need.
saw we saw Deathstroke too.
yeah, a little. I wanted to see.
You could make that
a
out.
little
That's
more.
incredible.
Yeah,
Deathstroke was the guy punching the bag.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and I'm still not.
So yes,
Okay. So how do I word this? I'm sold on Jared Leto as an actor. I am not
Okay.
sold on this version of Joker.
wait,
I'm just
wait,
not.
wait. If you're sold on Jared Leto as an actor and you understand the movies he's been involved with, the nominations he's received, and an award, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
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 Best supporting actor, right?
Best supporting
He did
actor,
get
yes.
it
Yeah,
for
guy
that.
won a goddamn Oscar. So knowing that he doesn't get involved with a movie on this scale without some of his artistic integrity being involved in the character,
Right.
this is gonna be good, really good.
This boils back down to the argument that we made when we first started seeing this, is that we do not question Jared Leto's ability and his artistic expression, but when he's handed a script and if you tie his hands on something, there's only so much you can do inside of a box. Now,
You're assuming that his hand, like he doesn't have these rules
What's,
he has to
what's
play
in
by.
the box?
What's in the box, man? I don't know what's in the box, man. So here's the thing, though. I actually gained a little more confidence in this movie after seeing this trailer. I actually was like, okay, all right, I have some words to eat, but I'm not ready to go to the buffet.
I'm not ready to eat my words yet.
I'm not ready to go to the buffet and eat all of them. I'm just willing to take my appetizers back and say I'm sorry. I'll put them on the check.
The appearance of Batman.
It's the most convoluted metaphor ever, by the way.
Right.
Whatever.
The thing that I was really concerned about was how they were going to portray Argus.
Right.
But I mentioned that the last time we talked about it.
Right.
But Alfre Woodard in this trailer, and I hope I named the correct actor, but she did, I thought, a phenomenal job.
I was sold on it. Yeah, absolutely.
outlining the purpose. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll disavow. I made a living off of making people do things against their self-interest, and that's the character, and that's Argus.
I will say this.
I'm seeing the DC picture shape up a little bit more, and it looks good.
I am very, very impressed with the fact that they're explaining this, because this is a very complex thing to explain to some people if they don't have any idea about any of these characters. And I think they did a wonderful job teeing it up for people who don't know so much about them and are looking at the new DC universe coming out, the new DC
Harley
movies.
Quinn is absolutely outside of her mind.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they did such a great job with that.
I'm watching the trailer going, don't lick those bars. Don't lick those
You don't know who
Stop.
touched those bars.
You are not Miley Cyrus. You stop licking metal right now. But I guess I'm just overly cautious about the Jared Leto Joker, not about Jared's performance or his ability to do the best of what he has. They're giving him a bad hand. That's my only problem.
It's not going to be Heath Ledger. We can't expect
I don't
that.
want Heath Ledger.
I
If
don't
wanted
need
Heath
or
Ledger.
want
I just
Heath Ledger.
watched the old Dark Knight movie.
I just did that the other night.
Right, and I listen. And if anyone is expecting,
I still have to take blood pressure medication when I watch that.
Oh, so good.
And if anyone's expecting Jared Leto to do Heath Ledger, get the hell out of here. He's
not gonna.
That ship has sailed. That was a one-time performance. That's all you're ever going to get. My only fear is that he's going to be given a bad hand to be dealt with for the character, and he's going to do the damn best he can with it. And he's going to try all his might to make sure that he does this character justice. I'm just worried that his character has his hands tied. Other than that, I'm really excited for this movie.
Okay.
Like, if he's only just a minor part in this, like we thought he was, where he's not the driving force behind it, but that he's just something that's in there to, drive things forward.
He was instrumental.
Good.
He was instrumental in Harley Quinn's Genesis story.
Yeah,
So. Right.
I mean, he's got to be involved.
But
in that.
He's going to be a backdrop.
No. Yeah, I know he's going to be there. The question is how involved is his how far do his actions take him?
Likely, he's going to be tinkering,
Right.
in all the affairs of everyone.
But I hope it's a behind the scenes and you don't see the puppet master doing it and you only get it once or twice.
And I that's what I picked up from the trailer.
Think that will be okay because they didn't spend a whole lot of time.
Right,
because
that was his voice. Just as long as you all remember, you work for me, type of thing. Right.
Right. There was only like 3 or 4 times he was actually on the screen for short bursts. So like, I don't expect him to be the main focus of this movie.
I'm very intrigued. I think just based on the trailer, they're setting the story up the right way. They're humanizing Deadshot the way they need to, which is that's pivotal to that character. It's why Will Smith is the right guy for it. So
right.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I thought it was so funny that because I honestly thought, hearing that these two things are going to be unveiled today, that I would be more hell yeah, Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad. No, fucking, you're going to do the same thing I expect you to do. Take a shit. And that I left with a different perspective. And I'm glad I'm differing from you guys, because when I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll totally own up to it and say, okay, I'm wrong on it. I really am hoping I'm proven wrong. I don't
Brian's
going to
walk out of the theater loving Suicide Squad. That's
If
what's
I
gonna happen.
if I do, then I do, and
I know you will. I know you will because I know
No,
you,
I think
and
Brian
I know
will just because that's just Brian's nature.
I know that you're taking a healthy level of skepticism here just to defend what the memories that you have of all the books and all how you feel about it. But I really think that DC knows this is their only shot. If they don't get this right, they're done. And I mean,
which that's the thing I wanted to get to is, do we feel better about the DC universe we're coming into? Do we feel that their movie thing is starting to become a little more cohesive?
Yeah, and I think to a degree they're taking a cautious approach, separating their streaming / TV content from the big screen. There's nothing wrong with that. But if they don't get this right with Marvel's slated movies, they're just done on the big screen.
Yeah, I was going to say, if these two movies don't pan out the way they want to, I know we're not going to have Flash. I know we're not going to have Justice League. We're going to scratch it. Someone's going to get fired out of DC, and they're going to start all over again.
Right, but all those movies are already in pre-production. They've already spent money on them.
Yeah.
And right, but what I'm saying is, but they're hinging on the fact that these two movies have to work. If no one cares about these two movies, if these two movies do not pan out the way they want to, it will make smarter sense for them to stop production where they are, say that sucks, because there's insurance money on that, believe it or not. That's what the whole plot of the producers is.
Right, there's a gap insurance.
To say, okay, it's just safer to walk away now. Fire whoever said this was a great idea. It's their fucking fault.
And then maybe you guys get your wish, and Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell take bigger roles. It's never gonna happen. You know why?
It's never gonna. Oh yeah, I know it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, you know why?
It's never gonna happen.
Because you can't kill Jeremy Renner.
I've come to terms with that.
And you can kill Grant Gustin.
Right, I've come to terms with that. They'll never be in there. But I did leave with a better scope of saying DC has got their things together despite my issues and misgivings. I felt better than when we had were production shots and stills and rumors and footage from a cell phone, which even though we're still talking about footage from a cell phone.
It's all hype and it's cool. But this is, I mean, when this trailer drops, I'm turning the lights off, I'm cranking the home theater, and I'm watching it.
Are you more excited for Dawn of Justice and Suicide Squad than you are for Ant-Man and for Black Panther?
Far more excited about.
Why do you pick the two least properties?
Because they're the two that are coming out the soonest.
No, Black Panther's not till 2019 or 20.
Yeah, it's a later one.
Ant-Man and Cap 3.
Okay.
I'm way more excited for Dawn of Justice than I am for both Ant-Man and Civil War.
What about Doctor Strange? Because that actually comes out in the same year.
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm excited about Benedict Cumberbatch.
but is that even a question?
And obviously for the implications involving another Infinity Stone. So, but look, these two movies I think address something that we haven't seen for quite some time, because you have to completely discount the Nolan movies. So we haven't seen these characters, and ever since Man of Steel, I've wanted more Superman. It completely revitalized the franchise for me. I can't wait to see it.
I'm sold for definitely Batman, Superman. I'm still. I'm gonna see Suicide Squad. I just don't know how I feel about it yet.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We're all gonna see these movies, and when we leave. When we walk in, we're going to be excited, regardless of any trepidation
and that'll be on Thursday night, and Josh will see it 4 days later.
We'll
a Wednesday afternoon.
Listen, I know what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go see it because you guys are going to want to talk about it on Friday.
Yeah, right. No, that's exactly what's going to happen.
This puts me in the worst possible. So all I'm saying is, if I have to go, I'm going with you because I'm not dealing with the riffraff.
You think we're going to keep away the riffraff?
I'm not dealing with the riffraff just by myself.
Oh. I thought we were riffraff repellent.
Wait, are we talking one riffraff or all the riffraffs?
All of the riffraffs. I just don't want to deal with them.
Suck a dash,
I feel like I have to go and lecture these people on decorum. Just shut up.
Text during movies. You have no right to tell people.
I don't infringe upon your whatever while I'm texting. You don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't know.
If I see fucking bright light, did you? So side note. Did you hear about this guy who actually went and charged his cell phone before a Broadway show started?
Oh no!
So a guy, no, you ready for this? Guy went on stage and plugged his iPhone into a charger that is on the stage because it's actually part of the show. If you know anything about movies or theater, nothing's real, so it doesn't do anything. So he jumped on stage before the show, plugged in his phone, which immediately everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then security came and pulled him away. And then another time, this actually just happened the other day ago, and I'm so sorry I don't have it in front of me because I didn't think we would talk about this. An actress actually went into the audience and took a cell phone from an audience member because they were texting during the performance. And it's just
live theater is
ridiculousness.
one of those. That's still one of the, for me, that is an incredibly. You just have to be very.
It's
reverent.
sacred. Yeah,
It
sacred.
is. You have to be very reverent. You certainly can't text during a live performance.
But if that performance is pre-recorded, it's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yes, it's fine if
No,
it's pre-recorded.
it's
it's not.
You're not disrespecting the people on stage.
You're disrespecting my eyeballs.
Disrespecting me. It's all about the people who actually put their time into it that you don't see.
You're both
the people
idiots.
that you do see, and then the fact that I'm watching a movie and I'm really into the world, and then all of a sudden this bright light comes on
the
in my peripheral
screen
vision.
is 80 feet wide,
and something 2 feet from me can obviously distract me from an 80
Not
foot
a chance.
wide. Yeah,
Not a
absolutely.
chance.
Oh my god,
you met
absolutely.
CJ, right?
Yes, so
His
you've been
ADD
to a
takes
movie
over.
with me, haven't you?
my phone is on the all the way down in brightness. You can't see it.
Yes, I can.
yeah.
I
You
am
can't see
trained. I am actually trained to see.
You know
that
what?
Stuff.
When we go, I'm bringing my iPad and texting on that
you douche.
Just gonna
At
break out the
full-
MacBook and
at
just-
full brightness.
You douche.
Fair enough. Full brightness on my iPad.
So speaking of things that Josh wants to defend, like his right to text during a movie, I found a wonderful post on the Doctor Who Hub on Facebook, which, by the way, if you're a Whovian, you need to follow the Doctor Who Hub. It has some of the greatest content when it comes to Doctor Who related things and also just nerd things in general.
When you say it like that, it sounds more like a Dr. Seuss thing. The Who
Yeah.
Hub.
Yeah, all right.
It's the Who Hub from Whoville, where they
Doctor
have the
Who
roast
Hub.
beast.
The Doctor Who Hub. Let me set the scene for you.
Please do.
Imagine every time there was a season finale of a TV series, every bar in town was showing it. Everyone was talking about it. Your boss let you go home early to watch it. And whilst seeing it, people will lie in each other's arms, sobbing about their feelings. Now explain to me why that's so immature and unrealistic, but it's totally normal for football. Go ahead, Josh.
I will.
Please,
And it's,
please.
And it actually boils down to a couple of very simple things. First, what you're talking about, the scenario you're talking about, pre-recorded, will be syndicated. Look, football, you cannot predict the outcome, and it can never be repeated.
Just like Game of Thrones. Except you can DVR football and rewatch it.
No, oh my God, you cannot DVR football. It's
I mean,
over.
you physically can.
No,
you
the
physically
moment,
can
listen,
do it.
that moment can never be relived if missed, ever.
Kind of like a Game of Thrones season finale.
No, dude, it's
Like
always,
if you
Game of
didn't watch it,
Thrones-
you're kind of screwed. You can't go on the internet for a good 40 minutes
you
during,
know what? Game
after,
of Thrones
or before
and
Game
every
of
other
Thrones.
series is always there. If you haven't seen it, and if somebody just said, "Hey, you might really enjoy this. You should watch it," then you just watch it, right? But if your team is in a nail biter, down by 2, fourth quarter, minute 20 left, 20-yard line driving the other way, you can't, that minute 20 is excruciating. It's excruciating, and there's no other, I can't describe the feeling. There's nothing else like it. The hope that you have and the cautious optimism mixed with, in my case, the fact that I know my Redskins aren't going to do it. They're just not. But I'll tell you what. There is a game that comes to mind. We were, it was a few years ago, and we were watching a Redskins-Cowboys game at my parents' house, and the Redskins were down. They were down 6 with less than a minute left. The Cowboys had the ball, were driving the other way. And Sean Taylor, who's now long dead, God rest his soul. Sean Taylor intercepts the ball, takes it the other way for 6. I literally, I was clutching a pillow like a child, watching, right, in anticipation what was going to happen. We need the ball. And I stand up and I'm screaming. I'm shrieking. Yeah. I'm freaking out. Throw the pillow in my father's face. And I'm just arms up, victorious. We won. And there's nothing that drives you. It doesn't drive you out of your seat. Game of Thrones.
What? I have stood up.
No.
False. Listen,
No.
that feeling that you get from football, there are people in the world, i.e. me and CG, who get that feeling from some of their favorite shows.
I
me
get
just-
it.
let me tell
From,
you- let me
like
tell the story of
Doctor
this.
Who, yeah. I mean,
No,
Not even just, it's just whatever, like, Chuck did that for me. I remember watching the season finale of season 3 of Chuck standing on my couch in my living room, my mother screaming at me to sit down because of what was going on to these characters I've spent almost 3 years watching,
and also
growing,
because
and loving.
you'll ruin the fabric.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not. Obviously, my mom didn't want me standing on the couch. Duh.
The analogy that I'm going to use, I know Josh is instantly going to disqualify just because of the show that it is.
You're disqualified.
The Walking Dead.
Oh, shut up.
No, come on. There are characters that I have been following and waiting for and going through the day-to-day struggles with, watching them, and then only to have that character die. I have cried.
Okay,
watching
I'm just
characters
gonna
die.
I'm gonna
Just
stop.
like you have
does the same
you
thing.
have
I need to
Game
stop
of Thrones.
because
Did you not remember the Ned Stark issue?
Yeah.
He drove that, and at the very end, the last.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen this, you're so far behind the
listen,
time.
in my time hop this week, 4 years ago, yesterday, the day before, Derek Jeter hit his 3,000th hit. Derek Jeter, who has an amazing career, who no one can argue with his character, has never been convicted of anything, no suspicious circumstances, no steroids, no drugs, just a good guy, captain of the greatest franchise in all of American sports, comes up to the plate, sees a bunch of pitches, I think like 5 or 6, and then his 3,000th hit is a home run. Now, I watched this live at work. I was standing there with Mikey, and we were literally hugging and jumping.
Right.
Hugging, 2 grown men,
Right.
hugging and jumping. And then when it was over, I cried. And I cried because this happened 4 years ago. It was 2011. And my grandmother had died, like, I think the year before. I want to say it was 2010. It's been forever. And I'm sorry I can't quote the date. It was April 19th. I don't remember the date. But that she didn't get to see it made me so sad.
Right.
There's nothing on TV that can replicate that for me.
I'll go on the counterpart for this is that, like, watching a show like The Wonder Years for me was a formative part of me growing up. It showed me that I wasn't a person alone in having conflicting feelings and seeing relationships and struggles with family and with friends and trying to find my own voice and trying to find my own personality. And then the show comes to an end. And it ends abruptly because it was canceled before you could finally get one more season in, which is what it really needed. And it's being taken away from me when I needed it the most. And they're talking about, at the very end, what's happening to his life and his family. He talks about his brother taking over the job. He talked about his father passing away years later, never getting to meet his son. And he talked about his relationship with Winnie Cooper and how it never panned out. And it's one of those moments where it taught me that life is not a TV series and that not everything's going to end up the way that you want it to. And just because you have a wonderful relationship with one person and that you feel it's meant to be, that it can end and it can be taken away from you, and life needs to go on because there's another avenue out there. There's another path for you to take. There's joy and happiness in other outcomes. And that can have the same kind of emotional reaction that can have.
I agree.
So why
with
is
you
it
completely.
unrealistic?
Because, and there are shows that I identify with very deeply. The West Wing is one of them where I'm incredibly emotional about that show. Same as Doctor Who, but on a different level. I put such stock into watching these, and I watch them at such a pace that I can't help but diving into the characters myself and finding parts of some of these characters that I think are me, right? But
Right.
the difference is, CJ, and what it boils down to is at the end of those, the outcome has been scripted. It's preordained, and you can relive it over and over and over. But if you ever speak about a game and a sporting event, it's not scripted. It can't ever be relived like it was in the moment. There's never another time rewatching it. The 2008 Phillies, and I'm not a Phillies fan, but Broad Street erupted. And the parade that happened a few days later wasn't anywhere near what happened the night that they won the series. And it's the same thing in any sport. It can't ever be relived. You can't ever get that same feeling back. But you can in fiction. You always can in fiction.
I mean, that's not entirely true. Hence, series like Firefly that have gotten more reactions at. So Comic-Con is essentially the parade for these kind of moments. They are the moments where nerds get to come out and celebrate the characters that have driven their life. They're the television shows that have taught them about being themselves. I mean, just comic books, just identifying through yourself that you can be who you're supposed to be through watching a comic book character.
Right.
Comic-Con, Comic-Con. But it is to some people.
No,
it is,
it's not.
No,
to
hold on.
anybody.
In the
It's
sense of this,
fiction.
Comic-Con is the parade for that. We don't get it after a series finale, after a movie, after a character has taught me how to overcome obstacles, accept responsibility, and to have honor and integrity. After that's happened, I can't go into the street and be like, "Did everyone read that issue?" Like, it doesn't work.
No, I get it. I do.
So Comic-Con lets me do that.
And
So-
I think there's some real value to be had in going to Comic-Con and getting to meet the real Karate Kid Billy Zabka and shake his hand.
But even the people that you get to meet who, not even the stars, oh my gosh, you identify with that series too. Oh my gosh, this part impacted you too. We don't get to sit around, like you can't go to a stadium and bond with 30,000 people that are fans of your.
What's
What's
Jenny's favorite show?
Oh, he's in so much trouble when he gets this wrong.
Currently or of all time?
Just something that she has a deep connection with.
The Big Bang Theory.
Okay, The Big Bang Theory. Ask her whether she feels more connected and more excited about The Big Bang Theory
Or the Steelers.
or the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl.
Right.
No.
No. Maybe, I get what you're going from, and I'll ask her the right television show because The Big Bang Theory is not right. I'm trying to remember the shows that she's cried
The Big Bang Theory's
many
emotional.
times.
I've gotten misty
No, I know
watching
there
The
is
Big Bang
there is,
Theory.
and I'm so you're right, Brian. I'm so gonna be in trouble. There is a show that she is very extremely attached to, and then I remember when
Is
something
it called
happened,
The Midwife? Laura likes that one.
No,
and I
please,
just
no.
I
We
just wonder how
paused.
many calls the midwife can take.
we paused during one of these shows to just address how upset we were. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was The Walking Dead, but no, I'll ask her and I'll get that reaction from her. But
Please do.
This is the thing is that
And when you get that reaction,
not the reaction, not just the reaction.
No.
But can you ever repeat the feeling you got when it happened while rewatching it? Because I don't think with sports,
and I think if
you can. I think that with TV shows, I know for me, every time the first episode with Dule Hill, Charlie Young, first episode where he says, "Mr. President, your glasses, they're in. You said you were reading in your study." Right, and the president sort of blows him off, but then at the end, right, Martin Sheen comes up and explains how he understands what happens to Charlie's mother and this and that. Won't you come stay with us and help us? And Charlie says to Bradley Whitford, Josh Lyman, my favorite character, "Is it always like this?" Yeah. And I lose it every time.
What about the moment? I'm so sorry I don't know her name. The assistant from The West Wing when she dies.
Oh my God, Mrs. Landingham.
Are you
right
freaking
there? See
kidding
that
me?
reaction you just said right there? See right there what just happened to you?
Yeah.
Why is that unreasonable when
It's
we
not.
have
No,
those
it's
moments?
not unreasonable. It's just not the same.
I haven't finished The West Wing. You just ruined it for me.
Oh no, Ryan, Mrs.
You
Landingham
son of a
dies.
bitch.
I'm sorry,
But listen,
dude.
I'm so sorry, but that's a very good episode.
I'm so sorry, Brian.
Hang on. Oh,
And see
I
the
hate
moment
you.
I just robbed from
Oh,
him?
man.
Do you see the moment I just robbed from him?
So it's.
God.
I see.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I
Do you need a minute? Hold on. Do we need a minute for Brian? I'm so sorry, dude.
I hate you so much.
Emotionally, it's a big thing, and I get it. It's
Right.
just not in the moment. I can repeat that feeling with The West Wing over and over and over. I can't ever repeat what I felt while watching the game because it's different when it's live and it's real.
So I think this is a point that.
Oh, we want to
I think-
hear from you.
Oh,
people.
this is it. This is the point that we need to hear from people. on.
Bloomer, I need to hear from you.
Nasser, if you want to chime in. I don't know. You can go ahead.
Are we
But
just
no-
saying random names?
Yeah, let's just do it. Listen, Tom, I know you're listening right now.
You mean Tom from Facebook?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom from MySpace.
Tom from MySpace.
Tom
Tom
from
from
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah.
Mark
And
from
Gerard,
Facebook.
Gerard, just listen. Just email me. Everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna happen. And Kevin, don't you give up on me. All right. I know you're a sports fan, but it's fine. I know that you're gonna take Josh's side on this. Let's just,
You made this weird.
it.
You made this.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
went
I
way
do.
too far with the
You
joke.
went very Steve Romance, and you made it all weird.
Gosh, what a Yost moment you just had right there. Gosh, what are you doing? I just figured we'd just drop more names. Are we just gonna?
That kind of
All right.
was a Yost moment there.
That was a yes moment.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else need to vent about anything that we've talked about so
Brian,
far?
I'm
Anyone
really
else?
sorry about the Mrs.
I
Landingham.
really am too. I'm so sorry, my friend.
It's fine. It's
That was
fine.
that was an emotional episode.
Man, that episode gets me every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Every
for
time.
sure. Yep.
All right. Do we need a moment, Brian?
Yeah, no, I'm
Can
fine.
you focus?
Nah, yeah, I'm okay. Speaking of shows, I mean, Comic-Con premiered the trailers for Walking Dead Season 6 and Fear the
Yeah.
Walking Dead, which both look pretty intense. And Ash versus Evil Dead, which I'm very excited about.
so
I don't understand who's Ash.
I never watched Evil Dead, but I love Bruce Campbell, and I know that sentence doesn't make any sense.
You
to
love
anybody.
Bruce Campbell, but you've never seen the movies that just
that
are
made
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get how hypocritical this is. I really
Okay,
do.
that's fine. As long as you
it's
recognize
on-
it.
I do, and it's on my list of after I get done Rocky. Which, by the way, for the fans, I finished after I rewatching because I've seen Rocky 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
I
okay, sure.
rewatched Rocky 1, 2, and 3. I just finished 4 and 5 today, and I am starting Rocky Balboa. So get off my back. I'm
We
almost
shall.
done the Rockies.
Are your ISIS compatriots angry that you've abandoned them, or
I will tell you what, my picture of Bin Laden while I was watching Rocky 2 fell off the wall.
It did.
Just unexplained. Just fell off the wall.
crack
Damn it, I
frame?
couldn't get through it.
Crack
I
frame.
couldn't
This
get
is
through
not. I
it.
can't even reuse the frame for the Bin Laden photo. It's no good.
And my Saddam mustache will no longer grow back.
It just your Saddam mustache fell off hair by hair as you watched it.
Every punch that Rocky took with Apollo, just hair fell off. Hair fell off. It was just over.
Well, that's good, CJ. Welcome to America.
This is good. Am I supposed to like French fries, fireworks, and hot dogs now? Is that what this is? Is this what this does to me?
I honestly, if you don't take like some sort of tour of South Philly, I think you got a problem.
I'm just gonna go to work every day now and be like, yeah, I really could go to the art museum. Nah, I won't. I will
won't.
say this though: what Rocky 2 showed me was how much nicer the Philadelphia Zoo got over the years. Because the tiger exhibit is horseshit and is
Oh
beautiful
my
now.
goodness, that's
Big
your
Cat Village
observation from
is
Rocky 2.
wonderful. Big Cat Village is beautiful now, and it's such a shithole. That poor tiger is out in the snow. Poor tiger. Got no shelter.
Oh my
and now
goodness.
now he can roam around.
You
He's not in the
realize
tiny
that
little
some
cage.
tigers are built for that, right?
Yeah, he's a
Right,
tiger.
right. Yeah, because there's only a couple thousand tigers left in existence. Yeah, of course they got built for very small confinements. Now they have room to walk. Thank you, Philadelphia Zoo, for making the tiger's life better.
Right.
All right.
CJ's observations from
That's
Rocky
my
have
takeaway
be-
from Rocky.
have become an indictment of the Philadelphia Zoo. That's good.
All right, so yes, Fear of the Walking Dead and the Walking Dead trailers. I know Josh doesn't care Rick Grimes is in for some shit, man. Holy crap!
Yeah, he's going off the deep end.
That is the most Rick Grimesy we've ever seen Rick Grimes.
Yeah,
He's all
he's
bloody
super
and
Rick
shit.
Grimes. Way
Thanks, Josh.
into the Rick Grimes.
On a scale from 1 to Rick Grimes,
He's Rick Grimes. Yeah.
Maybe off that part.
He's the guy from Boondock Saints?
Listen.
No, that's Daryl.
That's Daryl.
Talking about
You don't
Norman
fuck with
Reedus.
Daryl.
Daryl. Who's not even in the comic book.
Right. That's why he's the best character on the television show, because you have no idea what's going to happen.
Daryl was also the villain, sort of the villain guy in Coming to America. His name was Daryl.
In response to that, CJ, this entire series is completely off book because I'm just going to ignore what Josh just said.
No, you're right. All right. So
people have died that are not supposed to have been dead, and vice versa. And Carl always stayed in the house in the comic book, and I'm just
What I'm saying is, though, that you could always look to the arc and say, well, at least they're going to go one way or another, so you could prep yourself just a little bit. And when it comes to him and Merle, you had no reference, so you just had to take it with how it came, which is exciting.
Oh, and before we move off of Comic-Con, because I know Josh is going to be excited to hear this, they did announce their next animated movie while they were there. It's The Killing Joke, which is very exciting.
What? The what?
The Killing Joke, Alan Moore's run that kind of gave you a little background, the origin
I saw
story.
Something about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's one of the greatest Joker stories of all time. It's where Barbara Gordon gets paralyzed and becomes the character that she has become for the past 20 odd years.
Do we have a graphic novel though?
Yeah.
Who inked it? I didn't read it.
Dave Gibbons drew it. The same person who drew Watchmen.
No.
And Alan Moore
I haven't read that one. I know the story arc. I don't know.
Hang on, because I know if I'm wrong.
Is it the same team of voices, Brian, as the Dark Knight Returns and
Brian Boland? Sorry, Brian Boland.
Okay,
drew it. And no, they haven't begun casting anything yet. But Mark Hamill has been on record a while ago that he would come out of retirement to do a Killing Joke movie.
Mark Hamill is also on record saying that this most recent Star Wars feels like 1970 something somehow.
Yes.
I don't really put a whole lot of faith in anything Mark Hamill has to say about how things are or feel or what he'll do.
So have you seen the behind the scenes? So this is the fun part. Star Wars made such a huge wave in Comic-Con, as we expected to, doing absolutely nothing. By the way, they did like 7
they
real
didn't
things.
show anything.
They didn't do shit.
They're like,
but
here's some behind the scenes footage of how we're doing stuff that's like super retro and hipster.
That got me. Listen, in all sincerity, that one got me very excited because all the practical effects, seeing the amount of work that they're doing into this, just again confirms that this is the right choice for this movie. And I'm so excited for the trilogy that's coming out of this.
They didn't show anything.
No,
I still don't know what the movie's about.
No,
I don't
know anything.
I don't need to know that. I now know that no matter what, because of the love and care they put into little details, that the big stuff is fun.
It could be 2.5 hours of Han Solo brushing Chewie's fur. I'm going to see it. I just would have loved a little bit of insight.
That would get most of the knots out. 2.5 hours of brushing.
He's a very large guy.
At least he's got a lot of fur.
But I'm excited for it.
Of course,
it's
we're
Star
excited
Wars.
for it.
Of course, we're excited.
My big problem is I don't need, and I look. God,
this mouth diarrhea.
Here's what angers me: is the people in production and the actors saying how much we've advanced the CGI while keeping one foot in the past. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
There's talking about.
Listen, you can build all the wooden ships you want. It's not possibly going to look. If you keep one foot in the past, it's low rent. It's low rent. It's low budget. It's nothing.
That's totally incorrect.
I think they're referring to their use of practical effects, which is good, which is where the prequels fell short.
Because if you try to sell me that bullshit on 1, 2, and 3, if you try to sell me on the prequels, I would punch you in the face repeatedly until you bled, saying, shut your mouth. That's the most CGI piece of shit we've ever seen, and that's why we all hate it. We all hate it because they just
Well,
went
I don't-
George
I
Lucas
don't hate
balls
them.
to the wall that
I
and the
don't-
story
I don't,
sucked.
I don't hate them, and I don't
Plus,
think
plus
the story
Jar Jar.
sucked.
We hate Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, we hate Jar Jar.
We hate
Right.
trade routes.
But
we
also
hate
the-
negotiations.
And the people of Naboo, just in general.
Naboo could have blown up with Alderaan. Who cares?
Right.
So I disagree with
Ryan
you. I
has
say you're
just committed
completely-
genocide.
That sounds bad.
What I'm saying, CJ, is I don't think this is going to feel a whole lot different than Episode 3. I don't.
That's fine. Episode 3 was the best one out of those prequels.
Of course
When-
it was, and that's why it's not going to feel any different.
When you are wrong, I'll be right here to hold my hand up high.
You
and
know
do
what?
The Rocky
I'll tell you
Champ
what.
steps.
If I'm wrong, CJ,
You
what
will
I'll
be.
do is I'm
No.
going to take out my iPad and I'll tweet about it during the movie. How's that?
Wonderful. I'm so excited to read your tweet.
Glad to have said it.
I hope you get in a car accident and you break your arm. Yes! Damn it, I almost had a spit take.
Drive fast, take chances. Gotcha.
All right. So I've just sent the guys a link here to a project called ourpluto.org. So I don't know if you're aware of this right now, but we've sent a probe to actually get a really good glimpse at Pluto because it's the closest it's been to Earth and probably since it's been discovered.
I was in the Maryland Science Center 2 weeks ago and got like a dissertation about this from Bill Nye the Science Guy who was parked there.
Sweet.
Yeah? For real?
Yeah, dude. Like
That's
he
amazing.
went on for. I mean, he talked to me and the kids.
Where's the picture of you meeting Bill Nye?
No, it wasn't actually Bill Nye. It was just some
Oh.
dude who I'm calling
Oh.
Bill Nye the Science
No,
Guy.
I
So
actually
when I
saw
said
Bill Nye.
for real and you said yes, you meant no.
Yeah, the old guy, Bill Nye. He's old. He told me stuff about Pluto.
Okay.
That's what I mean. And
So
it's-
what am I
Okay.
looking at here?
So anyway, all right. So I want you to take a look at the list here, and I'll put it in our show notes. But there are now features, and there are mountains and craters and things that in the scientific community you name. Hence why on the moon you have the Sea of Tranquility and things of that nature. They get named. So the cool part about Pluto is they're opening it up to the public to vote on what they should call some of these features.
When I
So
was
you'll
growing
see-
up, CJ, my aunt and uncle, they lived in Massachusetts, and they had this giant hot tub in their backyard there. It was very cold in November, but we'd go in, and that was the Sea of Tranquility because it was very peaceful.
Okay, absolutely.
Just saying.
So you'll notice that the ballot comes down to this: historical explorers, space missions and spacecrafts, scientists and engineers, and then they realize that nerds like us actually own the internet, and they're like, well, then we have to do this: fictional explorers and travelers, fictional origins and destinations, fictional vessels, exploration authors and
Oh, they have the Heart of
artists.
Gold. The Heart of Gold's on here.
The USS Enterprise is on there.
The
Vulcan
Heart of
is on
Gold,
there.
CJ. The Heart of Gold.
Gold.
Is that a
Oz.
Harry Potter thing? What is that?
They have the TARDIS. They have
They
the
have
Heart
the
of Gold.
TARDIS.
So the Heart of Gold, Brian, is from Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, I've seen that movie
Right.
once.
No, my God, not
No,
the
God.
movie. The
God,
books, Brian. You haven't
Please
read the
go
I've
books.
never
book.
read the books.
I've read all the
Go.
books, Brian. All
Yeah,
the
read
books.
the books.
You
Okay.
haven't read the
Movie.
books? The Heart
I've
of
never
Gold.
read the books.
Oh my God.
Okay, listen. So, excluding this information I just learned,
I get the
now I
references.
know why you got upset when I got the Rocky things. So here's the deal.
I get the references, but I just
NASA
never read
comes
the
to
books.
you, right? NASA comes to your door, knock, 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 unexpectedly. Says, hey, we need to name 3 places on Pluto. Hands you a sheet and says, I need them in 10 seconds.
Wait, I can vote for them to name something
Yes.
Alderaan?
Yes. So, what would you like to name on Pluto? You get 3 things in those categories: authors and artists, vessels.
Wait, I can name anything that's on Pluto?
It's basically a landmass or a feature on Pluto that is discernible right now.
Is there a feature
From
on
this list.
Pluto that looks like a penis? Because I want to name that.
I'm sure there is.
I'm gonna
You can
name
ask
it.
Mickey Mouse. I'm sure he knows where Pluto's.
I'm gonna name
penis
it Pedro. Like James Vanderbeek did in Varsity Blues.
So
Sorry.
if you could name, if your legacy can be naming a feature on Pluto,
That looks like a penis.
penis related or not penis related, and you get to make your mark on the planet, what would you name it? I would love TARDIS Mountain, by the way.
TARDIS Mountain.
TARDIS Mountain.
Are we just looking at just the list here?
It sounds
No.
sounds like a
You can do whatever
bad
you want.
ride.
It does. Sound
It
like
does.
A
It sounds
You know
like
what?
TARDIS Valley.
I would name. I'll tell you what. If there was like a crater or like a series of them, the Dunes of Gallifrey is what I would name.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
There you
Dunes of Gallifrey. Like it. Artemis Valley. From
Artemis
Ready Player
Valley.
One.
That's a good one.
Artemis
I
Valley.
like
Ready Player One.
Oh, Ellen Ripley's Chasm.
that.
Can I
Ellen
do that?
Ripley's
Can I
C.S.
name
Lewis's
something that?
crevasse.
Gaping chasm.
Ellen Ripley's Gaping Chasm.
By the way, when Paul
Thanks
listens
for-
to this, he's going to flip shit.
I have it. Ellen Ripley's Gaping Chasm.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Done.
my vote.
I'm done. I'm on board with that.
And that's the end of that. But
You were
listen,
going
this
to
is
try to
really
be
cool.
highbrow with this, weren't you?
No. I was expecting it to go lowbrow after we got some things, and I figured dick jokes and stuff.
As soon as I saw Ripley, it was over.
So listen, I'll say this. This is really cool. This is actually open to the internet where you can list your own suggestions. You can vote for what's currently on the list. Listen, make some history. Name Pluto. Name its features. We actually are finally getting a good look at it. It's pretty cool stuff. And if you really look at it, listen, I am upset that Pluto is no longer a planet, but with all the lectures that Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these scientists have told us, I understand it now. I've come to terms with the fact that we've lost Pluto. But now I have to figure out why when I get the acronym for the planet, the anagram for the planets, it's my very educated mother just served us, and then it ends with 9 because normally there's 9 pickles, and now I think it's got to end with like nachos. That makes me disgruntled. I liked my anagrams.
Nachos are delicious. Why are you disgruntled?
Because 9 pickles just sounded so absurd. It stayed in my memory better.
If my mother served all of us nachos, they would be delicious nachos. And I just, as a point of order, I need to say, if you get all the nachos stuck together, that's one nacho.
That
That's
is
the
true.
nucleus. You get the
Absolutely.
nucleus, the best part.
Indeed. Thank you
Guys,
for
you have any-
educating us, CJ.
You're
It's
you're so
it's
welcome.
ourpluto.org. Vote for Ellen Ripley's Gaping Chasm.
I would love to see that kind of nerd mountain. I think that'd be nice. You can just put that out there.
Can it be next to Ellen Ripley's Gaping Chasm?
Of course.
Okay.
If not inside of it somehow. Damn
Well,
it, now
that's-
I just went lowbrow.
That's actually where we all strive to be, CJ. Somewhere near there and or inside, in or around.
I was say on the outside.
It's
land
in or
regions.
around it. If we could be somehow in or around Ellen Ripley's Gaping Chasm, that's where we want to be.
That sounds about right. So here's the things you guys need to know. Dawn of Justice trailer is on the That Kind of Nerd website. Go ahead and check it out. At the time of this recording, the Suicide Squad trailer has not officially been released, so we are waiting for the official release to go ahead and put it onto our website. Please, if anyone has a strong opinion about the conversation that we have with Josh about things that are like football that I think you should defend, please write into podcast at thatkindofnerd.com or on Twitter at thatkindofnerd, or of course just go to our website and tell us your thoughts and feelings on it. If you're on Josh's team, cool, and if you're not, you made the right choice and welcome to the right side. Yeah, I said that. I'm allowed to. I'm in charge of the editing process. I can
For
keep
sure.
it
For sure.
in. And then I know Josh isn't into The Walking Dead, but I hope you can get into at least Fear of the Walking Dead.
Dude,
and
I
make your
watched
way
the
over.
Ash versus Evil Dead trailer, and I was like super into it, and then there was a zombie, and I shut it off.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
And make sure to go to ourpluto.org. Just listen, just learn something about Pluto and take a look at some of these things that are floating around. I will have to say this: this episode of That Kind of Nerd would not be possible, literally, like not even exaggerating, without the help from our friend John Kovacs, who helped me out with a issue I was having with my Mac and helped me actually make it work. I didn't have any computer to actually record the podcast on, so we were quite worried about that. So thank you so much, John, for helping us out and making sure that this episode gets onto the internet. So
You should
huzzah to
use-
you.
You should use iMovie now. Create a John Kovacs slideshow with "I Will Remember You" playing in the back.
Oh my
Get
God!
out of my head, CJ. Get out of my
Yes.
head.
Ah, I so knew where you were going. It's wonderful. Oh my God. We spend way too much time together. Sorry, Brent. If you would like to be a voice on the That Kind of Nerd podcast, we do encourage you to call in. Now, listen, let me stress for this for the record. We had technical issues when it came to the calling in of Pat Tricolo. They have been addressed and identified, and I blame his terrible wireless carrier and his area because I have tested it with 3 other phones and with other call recording equipment, and everything's working fine. So if you're worried about the call quality, don't. Everything's fine. Our direct number is 484-373-4119er. Yeah, I said niner. Deal with it. Thank you guys for taking the time. Absolutely. Thank you guys for taking the time to record with us and for yelling at us about some issues. I'm glad I'm finally getting these Rocky movies out of my way so that way you guys don't make fun of me anymore.
Indeed.
Thank you, listeners.
Glad to.
Thank you for being part of your drive home or just your walk around the neighborhood. We will hear from you next week. Bye.
If time travel gives me a little bit of feedback in the headphones, I'm out, is what you just said.
Yeah.
No, like in the sense of how my head feels after the clap test that we do to synchronize our audio, and then Brian's microphone decided that it was going to emit a dragon scream.
Brian's in there like Eminem. Turn me up in the headphones.
I can't hear my bass in these headphones. That was crazy. All right.